What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of the Mental Golf Show. I'm Josh Nichols, and on today's episode, we talk about dealing with pressure. So, on the tail end of the Open Championship that was in Northern Ireland, there were two huge storylines. One, the ultimate storyline of Shane Lowry winning, being from Northern Ireland, and Rory McIlroy being from Northern Ireland with all the pressure on him going into it. So it's kind of a cool dichotomy of Rory had the pressure to begin the week, then Shane had the pressure to end the week and ultimately finished it and won it. But the pressure that Rory felt of being the hometown guy, being the big fish from the little pond of his Hollywood golf club and being the local guy and being the biggest, superstar athlete from the country. I know how that feels, and that sounds a little egotistical to say that I know how Rory feels being a superstar, but I know how it feels to be kind of the big fish in a little pond. Being from Kernersville, a little town in North Carolina, and particularly Forsyth County, and always being on the radar in the county for the county golf tournament. I'll take it real small. So we have the Forsyth County Invitational every year, and I've since moved away from Forsyth County, but the pressure that I felt every year to play well in the Forsyth was palpable. And, a lot of that was my own pressure. I won't claim to be this huge star from the county, but I did hear from a lot of people every year, really about this time actually. The Forsyth's coming up. I won't be playing because I live in Apex and Wake County now, but every year about this time, there would be some article posted in the Winston-Salem Journal about, the guys that are expected to play well, and I would always feel that pressure. And being from the area, I always felt the pressure of everyone expecting me to do well. And then when I go to other tournaments outside of Forsyth County, I feel that pressure to be the guy from this town or from this county to go and play well in something else. And obviously my example doesn't compare any to Rory, or ultimately Shane, but I can tell you how that tastes, how that feeling kind of just it can suffocate you a little bit. And I can only imagine what Rory was going through, the suffocating feeling of the pressure of an entire nation on you to do well in a tournament that you really should win. And Rory feels that every time he plays. He probably always gets badgered by why he isn't winning more, why it's been so long since he's won, all these things. So in some of my sessions that I've had with other players, I noticed that because they're the good player from their club, or they're the good player from their city, or their state, and there's a lot of pressure every time they go to play in a tournament to perform for all the folks back home. And the way that I used to deal with that was, I don't know if I could recommend it for everybody, but the way I used to deal with it was saying, you know what? Forget all of that. I know what I need to work on. I know my own expectations for myself. I know what it takes for me to get good. And I would go off on my own and try to not dwell on it as much as possible, and really just try to focus on my own improvement, on my own game. And what you can do when there's pressure on you, whether it's from yourself or from those around you, or from your city, from your county, from your state, from your country, What you can do is, this is what I need to do to get better. This is what I need to do. My goal is to win this tournament, or my goal is to play well, or my goal is to have this scoring average, or this at the end of the season, or whatever. This is my goal. This is what it would take to get to that goal. And all you can do is focus on what it would take to get to that goal. Like I said in a previous episode, as my dad used to say, set a goal, create a plan that will help you reach that goal, forget the goal, and work the plan. So all you're doing is focusing on the day-to-day. You're not focusing on the exterior factors, the other circumstances like people's pressure on you, your own pressure on yourself. You're just focusing on what you can do day-to-day and checking those boxes. And at the end, you look back and say, that worked, or that didn't work and I need to tweak it, or that worked and I want to do even more. So you tweak it, and always analyzing, always being self-aware of the process. And if you can focus on that plan, then the other pressures start to fade away. And what I would say Rory needs to do, because he was pretty tore up in the wake of that and during it, what I would say he needs to do is forget about the other pressures. And I'm sure he does this, but this is probably like elementary advice to him, but forget what those people are saying around him and just focus on his own game. And it doesn't take me telling him that. He's a strong enough mental player in his own right to be able to handle that. But if by chance he doesn't know what to do and he's just crippled by the pressure, he needs to let that pressure go and just ignore it and block it out and focus on his own process. He has a goal of winning a Masters, which he's never done. He has a goal of winning a tournament, winning a British Open in Northern Ireland, winning an Open Championship in Northern Ireland. He needs to say, that's my goal. This is the plan I'm going to do to get to that goal. Forget that goal and then work the plan. And that's all anyone can do. And the tactics within it are different per player, but all anyone can do is set a goal, create a plan to reach that goal, forget the goal, and work that plan. And I encourage you to do so, and I'd love to hear what your goals are. So that's question of the day. What are your goals that you want to reach? And we'll cover what plan you would use to reach that goal, but for this one, question of the day, what are your goals that you want to reach? Let me know in the comments, email me, however you can, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.